My name is Cassie Peg Kirby. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I am the director of the Women's Center. So let me go ahead and see if I can get my screen shared here, and we'll go from there. Okay, present. Let me see here. So when I'm in present, I can't see my notes. So we're going to go with it off the top of my head. So let me go through here and let's see if I can. Nope, not going to let me do it. So I'll go ahead and so you can see what you're looking at. I know what I'm talking about here. So we'll go with the main screen here. As I said, my name is Cassie Peg Kirby. I'm the director of the Women's Center. And I actually, as Dan said, I worked in the admissions office. I worked in academic advising. I was a police dispatcher for the Kent State Police Department for a little while. I've been at Kent State for about 20 years. And along with that, I'm the mom of 4 boys, believe it or not. As the director of the Women's Center, I have this nice balance in my life with 4 boys, but 2 of them are also Kent State students. One's a first-year student this year, and one is a junior. And so not only do I know about, the university from working there and from actually being a grad student there myself, I also have children who are attending Kent State now as well. Okay. So some basic things about us. We strive to advance gender equity on our campus and communities through education, advocacy, and action. So sometimes people will wonder, why a women's center? Why are women's centers relevant? And the reality is, 1 in 4 women are survivors of power-based personal violence. Women make 82 cents or less to the dollar that men make. We celebrated when 25% of our national government was represented by women, when we make up well more than that in the greater population. So although there have been a lot of great advance, and there's a lot of work still to be done in terms of achieving gender equity. And so you'll see that a lot of what we do is sort of learn and grow and advocate on behalf of some of those things, and then figure out ways to move to action. We are coming up upon our 25-year anniversary. The Women's Center was founded in 1996 and has been rolling along since then. And so in the fall of in this coming fall, will be our official 25th anniversary, but we'll have some upcoming events leading to that. And so I encourage you, if you're not currently on our listserv, you're welcome to join our listserv. And all you'd have to do is email WC, like Women's Center, @kent.edu and just ask to join the listserv, and we can put you on there, and we send out a newsletter and an e-newsletter once a week when I'm on top of it. But that will tell you of some of the things that are coming up this spring and some cool events and opportunities we have leading up to the fall. And the idea is honoring our history and investing in our future. We couldn't be where we are if it wasn't for the people who came before us. And it's really important that we understand that as you look around, it's really the high school students, the college students that are demanding change and creating an equitable and inclusive environment. So this is where we're located. We're located in the Williamson House, and this used to be the president's house. And so it's kind of cool that we're in this space because while the rest of the campus, for the most part, is fairly institutional, academic buildings and spaces, this is a house. So in this building, we have a kitchenette, we have a lounge, we have a conference room, we have study spaces, we have spaces for activities and student groups. And so it's kind of cool to come and work in a place like this, and it really can be a home away from home. We share this space with the Center for SERVS, which is Sexual and Relationship Violence Support Services. So both of those centers share this space, but we're used to working together. So again, it's kind of like my family, and it's been hard being in this pandemic because I've been working remotely and I have to try to catch up with folks on Zoom calls, and I don't get to see them. So this is about our staff. As I said, that's me. That's a much younger pre-COVID 15 pounds Cassie Peg Kirby, but still that's me, the director. And then the program coordinator, any moment now, I'll be able to give them the offer letter and get them up and running in that spot. We had an assistant director who left due to an incredible opportunity. And so no fault to her, but we're looking forward to have someone jump into that space. And then we also have a graduate assistant. Jenna Singer is pursuing her master's in public health at Kent State, but she also got her undergrad degree in public health from Kent State as well. So that's our staff. And we couldn't do the work that we do without all these other people. So I jokingly, and I think, Deanne would probably agree, talk about how I kind of figure the rest of campus as kind of our adjunct staff members at the Women's Center. We couldn't do the work we do without the support and engagement of the rest of our community. So these are some pictures of our Women's Center Action Council, which includes faculty, staff, and students. And we meet once a month and we work on tackling different issues on campus and also have a lot of fun. So those are some of the folks on our two most recent years of the Women's Center Action Council. But the lifeblood of our work is our interns. So you saw that our staff was relatively small. There's 3 of us on our staff. We have the Women's Center Action Council, but every semester we have 8 to 10 student interns. So these are some pictures of our interns. On the left is one of our interns who was working with our parenting student study hours. So, doing some programming and some activities with kids while their parents had a chance to study. We usually have a community dinner, and then we hang out with the kids and do different activities. And then the parents have a chance to catch their breath for just a minute even. In the middle, you can see Maddie, and behind her, you can see Nasra. We were actually in Cincinnati for a 4-day training for the Days for Girls Global Initiative. And so that's a picture of us. That was at the Starbucks on our way to the morning training, but love that picture of Maddie in the shirt she's wearing. And then the far picture is us actually with our interns having a Galentine's Day celebration at our weekly sort of check-in. So our interns really, are so important in the work we do. Most of them spend about 10 hours a week with us doing programming, helping with social media, creating presentations, leadership, things like that. So not only when you hang out at the Women's Center, there's lots of students there doing stuff with us as well. So would love for you to consider an internship. And some majors require it, and we can fulfill that requirement, and other students just do it for the experience. We also have lots of opportunities to volunteer. So on the left, you see some of the students who came to help support that study hours. And that's actually a picture inside our building. So on the right-hand side is a set of stairs, but you can see that's like a living room area where students hang out. And there's a table there as well to do some studying. In the middle, that's the group of us that went to do the training for the Days for Girls project. And we do a lot of volunteer opportunities around Days for Girls. And then on the right is a group of students who were helping with the pantry and supporting the resources and getting things organized there. So volunteers are also a big part of what we do. And even in the environment right now, we've been working with our community engaged learning office, and we have, I can't think of the cool name they have for it, but just last Saturday, we had 10 students working on the Days for Girls project as a service opportunity. But we frame our work through care, connect, challenge, and celebrate. It's easy to remember. They all start with C's. And we sort of scaffold them that way, right? Like, you don't want to join a place if you don't feel like it's a place where you're welcome and you can show up. We hope you'll show up as your full authentic self. That means good days, challenging days. We certainly show up that way. It's a judgment-free zone. Just come in and hang out. We have a kitchenette. We can get you a snack, help you get situated, get you connected with somebody, whatever it is that you need. So we look at it through that care, connect, challenge, and celebrate. So in terms of care, like I said, the Williamson House is really a home away from home. It literally is a house. So not only, hopefully the environment shares that that's the kind of space it is, but it also literally is a house. So you could come in and, like I said, raid the kitchenette or, go hang out in the lower level where we have some activity space, or if you're interning, come upstairs in the internship area, things like that. We also create a community of support and caring. So as I said, we hope and encourage people to show up as themselves, because we certainly do. And I learn as much from the students as I have to offer. And so I love being in that space, just having some conversations, talking through some things we're trying to figuring out ways we might collaborate. My favorite thing is when students come to me with these, what they think are really wild ideas. And sometimes they are. I like saying, like, well, why not? Let's do it. How do we make this happen? Who do we connect with? Things like that. And so there's lots of ways to get engaged and get involved. In terms of connect, these are some photos of some different things that we have on campus. We have on the left-hand picture, that's our Revolution Leadership class. And I'll share a little bit more about that because that's something that you can register for. It's a 1 credit hour class. But that was the first group that went through it. On the right, you'll see the picture of the students around the table working on the Days for Girls project. And the Days for Girls initiative is about making reusable menstruation products and learning about global women's health, because just the same way that period poverty is something that you might be hearing about, or maybe some of your schools are offering menstruation products in the bathrooms. It's something that globally is a challenge and often keeps women from being able to pursue their education. So what we want to do is give them back that opportunity by helping them with menstruation management. So we're working on a collaboration with a Days for Girls enterprise in Rwanda right now, and hoping to connect with another group in Zambia. So, getting creative about our awareness of these as global issues. We also, once a semester, will have a program called Where Do Black Women Go? And it's really an opportunity to center the conversation around Black women's experiences and create sort of that village environment for faculty, staff, and students to come together. And particularly given the heightened awareness of the violence against our Black communities over the summer, heightened visibility, I would say. We created one with Black United students and Sister Circle this past spring, or just a month or so ago, about where do Black women go to be Black at a predominantly white institution. We felt like it was important to center that conversation. So we did create that space and do that, but there's lots of different ways you can connect and engage. And I shared just a couple of them. So the mentorship program helped, quote, the mentorship program helped me transition during COVID-19. My mentor stays on my toes about evaluating myself on LinkedIn, as well as providing opportunities for internships and more. And that was from our spring 2020, when we had to stop in the middle of the spring, but at least being in person. But just a sharing that the importance of, we have faculty and staff across campus who mentor our students in that program and meet with them and help figure out what they need and get them connected across campus. The third area I mentioned is challenge. So this is actually a picture of our Elect Her program. We offer once a semester, in the spring semester. And this is where we bring, somebody's not muted, where we bring people from campus, or people from representatives from our area to come in and really encourage our students, not just to be leaders on campus, but consider running for student government and potentially beyond that. So the woman you see there in the yellow jacket smiling at the camera is Representative Stephanie House from the Cleveland area. She was there for that event. But we've had, our current undergraduate student government president, Tiara Moore, is in this picture, and she's only the third woman undergraduate student government president at Kent State in all of the history of undergraduate student government. And it looks like another one of the students who participated in this will also be the president next year. And so it does make a difference. We also have folks who have come through here who have taken on leadership positions in other areas across campus. But again, this is challenge, but it's also, if you look at it, it's a way to connect as well. So we offer that in the spring semester. We also have Feminist Fridays, where we sort of explore different ideas of feminism. Those are offered once a month. You know, and I mentioned the Days for Girls program, but we also have the Period Project on campus. In collaboration with undergraduate student government, we now have free menstruation products in 16 bathrooms. So it's really about challenging the status quo and challenging us to show up as our best selves, you know, and really doing what we can to make positive change in our communities. And at the end of the day, we celebrate, right? We can't get away without celebrating. So we celebrate not only what we've accomplished, but who we are in all of this. And so we have some different programs like the SAGE Awards that we celebrate. We also have some other opportunities. We have a Women's Center Scholarship, endowed scholarship, which is available for continuing students. So it's not available for incoming freshmen, but once a student is at Kent State, we offer that scholarship as well. So take a peek at that, or keep that in mind in the future. And then another quick quote: thanks to the Women's Center, I am ready to take on my degree with confidence, knowing that with the right team, failure is not an option. So this is actually Stephanie, who is the mom of 4, got her bachelor's degree in hospitality at Kent State. And now, after being out for a year or two, has actually asked me to write a reference for her because she's looking to come back for her master's degree. So really excited about her journey and finding a way to make this happen. We collaborate with lots of different folks across campus and the community, and these are just a few of them. So the Campus Kitchen at Kent State, the League of Women Voters, WIC Poetry Center, our undergraduate student government, as I mentioned. When we're talking about sewing those menstruation products, it's really good to know people at the fashion school, because I might be able to cut out some fabric, but our fashion students are phenomenal. And in places like Zonta and our May 4th Visitor Center as well. And these are just a few, but a lot of the work we do is really collaborative. So I told you a little bit about us, but if you're still here, which I hope you are, there's lots of ways to get involved. And the first one, I put it out here, I checked it again just to see if we had a section number. The Revolution Leadership class is a 1 credit hour class. We meet on Mondays, I think from 2:15 to 3:05. And that's the number there, the US 10095, section 5. So if you're looking for it, or you're, when you just come to register for classes, that's what you would look for. And it is a 1 credit hour class. So it's not, something that puts you over in terms of requirements. The amount of work that you have to do is not a lot. And in many ways, students have found that it's totally worth it because you have a community of people that are coming together. And that class is really built on bringing other leaders across campus into that class so that every week it's a different person speaking. We have Kristen Williams, who's the executive director of career exploration and development, who's working on a salary negotiation workshop with me. We have someone from LaunchNet, Tabitha, who comes in and talks about how do you build your pitch. I talk about the authentic you. How do you take care of yourself, and show up as a leader at the same time? And what is leadership? Is it the person at the front who holds that position, or can leadership show up in a variety of different ways, which I believe it can. So it's a really cool class, a chance for you to, learn some things about yourself, but also get to know some different folks on campus. You can join the Days for Girls Club and be a part of those sort of regular gatherings to tackle issues of reproductive health and reproductive justice, take advantage of some of the volunteer opportunities. I mentioned the Period Project. You could get engaged in supporting undergraduate student government in the Period Project. We're trying really hard right now to get the university to take that on as a budget item for the university so that the Women's Center and undergraduate student government isn't responsible for that. We feel like the university should take that on. You can complete an internship. We also have all the CEO ladies, which is for people who are interested in being entrepreneurs or just want to find a way to connect and hear from other people about all of their ideas. That meets once a month. We have an AAUW student organization, which is the American Association of University Women, and they really do a lot around pay equity and salary and things like that, as well as just gender equity as a whole. You could attend a Feminist Friday or a Where Do Black Women Go event. Oftentimes we'll have those as part of the Student Success Series so that if people, you can actually get credit for it for your first year experience or your, orientation class. Or think about participating in Elect Her. It doesn't happen until spring semester, so you have some time to think about it. But if you're thinking like, I'd like to run for an office, or I'd like to learn more about that, or gosh, I'd like to be in the room with some of these representatives from, around our state. That's a great place to do it. So those are some different ways to get involved. And I have done way too much talking. And so now, if you want to take a picture of that screen, if for some reason you'd like to get back in contact with me, or you'd like to check out our website, I did recently update it. It's not easy trying to figure out how to do a website, but I did my best. So hopefully you can navigate through it and find what you're looking for. But there is some information on there about some Women's History Month events that are happening. And since everything is pretty much remote these days, I would check it out. And if there's something you're interested in, sign up and jump in and be a part of it remotely. So it's not quite the same as feeling like, ooh, if I show up on campus, I'm not quite ready for that yet. You could jump in remotely and check it out. So I am going to stop sharing, and if I can figure out how to do that, and then see what kind of questions you have or what I can do for you.
Thank you, Cassie. Yes, does anyone have any questions that they would love to throw out to Miss Cassie? She's, like I said, she's been here as long as I have been. And so between the two of us, we can answer quite a bit in regards to the university, things going on in the community, things to do off campus as well. But one of the things I think that, and Cassie will agree, that has changed for the better over the years is the number of resources that we have continued to add for students, the number of organizations for you to participate in as well. And so it's sometimes not necessarily, don't feel that it's too overwhelming, but it's nice to know that you have so many things to choose from to help you navigate your time with us here and to make that experience just more better. So with that being said, does anyone have, I got a question.
Nope, it's just me. I typed in. I know sometimes it's hard and people feel a little anxious about jumping in. So I want to let people know, please don't hesitate to email me after the fact too. If you'd rather ask a question, that's not to the whole group, I'm happy to answer on a visual basis too.
And I completely understand. And so if anyone, like I said, Cassie will be happy to answer your questions one-on-one, as I am myself. So if you do have any questions for admissions or anyone before you get here, and keep in mind that class that Cassie was mentioning, and that's something that you do offer each semester?
Yep.
Okay. What would you say is...
I think Isabel has her hand up.
Oh.
Hand up.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Yeah. Yes. Let me go ahead, Isabel.
Hi. Can you, one of you or both, talk a little bit more about like how to get those internships?
Yeah, sure. I can tell you about that. So with the internship, what I would probably recommend is that you don't jump into that your first semester, that you at least wait a semester to get acclimated to campus. But internships can be really in any area. I work within an area of student affairs that has the Student Multicultural Center, that also has the LGBTQ plus center. What, did you need me to do?
No, oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to monitor things and I'm like, oh,
Distracted me, Isabel. I'm sorry. So
I thought I clicked on something I shouldn't have.
so I say that because we aren't the only area that has an internship. So I would give you, a semester to get to know the campus and get to know what you're interested in and what you'd like to be a part of. And I know for us that I right now have a student who's a second semester first year student and is helping us with our leadership program. So all you have to do on our website, there's an opportunity to apply, and like for summer and fall, we'll start reviewing applications March 15th. For spring semester, we start reviewing applications, I think November 15th. So if you just keep an eye on that website, you can, if you go to the internship information on our website, it will tell you what those timeframes are. Some schools, depending on your major, some programs will allow you to get credit. And the upside of that is that, if you're going to spend 10 hours a week with us on this internship and you can get credit for class that fulfills a requirement or fulfills an independent study, just helpful, because then you're sort of double dipping. You're fulfilling a requirement and getting an opportunity in this space. And so we have students that are writing interns, and so they do a lot of the press releases and writing for us. We have, our blog. We have students that are maybe VCD communications journalism who are doing things around social media and marketing. I have public health students who are working around reproductive justice. So we really work with students in any major or program. We had a fashion merchandising students that because it was difficult for them to travel off campus, that we were able to find something that would fit what they needed for their internship. So it's pretty flexible. But that would be how I would look it up. And I would look at, the Women's Center as one space, but like I said, if depending on what you're interested in, and it's a great way to get sort of a behind the scenes look, be a part of an organization as well, because we certainly rely on our interns heavily. So did that help, Isabel? It was a lot of information.
I know that was great. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. And then you have my email address. So if you're like, one of those, just email me. I'll get the link to you.
And Isabel, our career services office is very helpful with a lot of our internships that do go on here at the university, and that our career services office actually works with all of our academic departments across the campus. Your academic department also will have those internships available, or what have been also utilized in the past as well. And so major wise, it also depends on, the time in your program in which best to utilize, but we definitely encourage more than one internship as well. Cassie, Autumn, I'm going to unmute her as well, has a question.
Yeah.
And so I'll let her ask.
Hi, you mentioned earlier about a email address that you could email with the specific word to get like the flyers or information about the Women's Center. I just wanted to.
If you actually email my email address up there, I'm the one who's overseeing the Women's Center email address, but since I put mine in the chat there, if you just email that cpegker@kent.edu, and all you have to do is type in like, add me to the listserv or add me to the newsletter or whatever you want to write, I can make sure that you get added. We just had a newsletter that came out today that I could always forward, but I can also make sure that you're on the list, and we send those out usually once a week. You can also look Kent State Women's Center, look us up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, trying to work on LinkedIn. Facebook is my comfort zone. I know I hopped on Facebook and then all of the students, including my children, left and went to Twitter and Instagram. So I'm trying to learn, but that's why we have interns, because they know how to navigate those spaces. And so they're posting a lot of good things on those social media outlets too. So you might find some of that information more immediately in those spaces as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. And that'll keep you up to date with different opportunities that.
Yes, I would still do the newsletter just because they're not exactly matched all the time.
Yeah.
But in the newsletter, we'll actually give you all those social media spaces too. So if you get the newsletter, you can find us. So awesome. Thanks, Autumn.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions for Cassie or myself?
I just would say, like Dan said, I've been around the university for 20 years. I know I was 5 when I
She
started.
had,
Okay.
yeah, ladies, she hasn't aged a day in those 20.
No, no, no. I'm coming into my elder stage. I'm excited. I've got some gray hairs. I'm going to welcome this time in my life. So, but I just want to let you know also, please don't hesitate. You don't know, and I know Dan's a great resource too, but I always tell people, if you don't know, I live about 2 blocks from campus. I work at the university. I've been a Kent resident and a Kent State employee for 20 years.
Mhm.
If questions about anything, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm an open book. So keep that email somewhere handy. And if you're like, oh my gosh, you know, my parents are coming into town, we're trying to find a restaurant to go to, where should I go? Go ahead and email me. I can give you lots of good recommendations. Or if it's,
As
you know,
can I.
and if something else has
Yeah.
come up and you're like, well, this isn't really a women's center thing, ask. Because like I said, I've
Mhm.
been an academic advisor. You know, I may not be the right person, but so much of what we do is utilizing relationships and connections. And so I might not know the answer, but 9 times out of 10, I can probably get you connected to the person who does. So please don't hesitate as you make this transition or as you think about other
Yeah.
questions that may come up. If you're not sure who to ask, please don't hesitate, you know, to let the admissions office know or add me to that list and let me know. And I'm happy to get you an answer or at least get you connected with the right person.
Couldn't have said it better. Anything else that anyone would like to throw out to Cassie once again? If not, like I said, you have Cassie's information. I'll plug mine in there as well if you have any admissions related questions as we get closer and closer to summer. And if you have or maybe haven't scheduled your Destination Kent State date, that you will get information about various activities that they'll have associated with our Destination Kent State program and other connections that you can make with other organizations on campus as well. Plus, with fall not far behind thereafter after you schedule, you know, every fall we have hopefully, well, with pandemic, obviously things have changed, but hopefully we'll be able to have the Black Squirrel Festival back again this fall. It's an opportunity to also get info from a lot of other organizations, but we'll get you as much info as you want. If you don't have any questions, then we will see you very soon.
And I put the website in the chat as well. So if you want to check out the website just to sort of play around and learn some more information, there's a lot of good information on there as well. So I really appreciate everyone spending some time with me this evening. So again, any other questions, let us know. And I hope you have the weekend's almost here. Hope you have a good.
And you know, Cassie, you made me lose my train of thought. See, it shows how old I'm getting. I'm losing my thoughts quickly. But again, ladies, thank you for joining us here tonight and taking time out of your schedule to come learn more about Kent State and the resources that we have available. Again, as I said, we can't emphasize it enough. Please ask us any questions. No such thing as a dumb question. And, you know, as I said, summer will be here very soon. You'll be graduating and starting the next phase of your life. And so we are glad that you've chosen Kent State and look forward to seeing you very soon. Thanks, Cassie, for taking time out.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great rest of the evening and a great upcoming weekend.